We are back at it again here with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. To the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all subscribers, welcome back. Here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, pulling downwards back into another dip area here and breaking through key support levels, guys. And within today's volatility, our SPY bot, it had sent out a bear indicator since 3:40 p.m. since Friday. Outflows crossed the midpoint, and today after the bell, outflows crossed again, and the weakness continued into the day, and put options went up 200% plus within hours, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to the bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. So today we need to talk about what made the stock fall even lower and how we ended up here, and we're at some key psychological levels between the bulls and bears at the 400 support / resistance and currently sitting at 398. But before we break it all down, I want to share with you guys the home run opportunity that was mentioned this morning over at the Discord. So the home run of the day was spectacular and beyond expectations. And if you guys want to know about these stocks early on in the pre-market and receive this edge and clarity of the charts, check out the link down below in the description to the Discord. And by joining, you'll become part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together. So the first home run was from our Tesla bot. Our Tesla bot sent out a bear indicator at 9:55 a.m. And from that moment forward, the outflows crossed the midpoint to the downside. Full weakness there on 42 vision. Crossed down again, and put options went up 100% plus within an hour, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator. We look forward to having you join us, and we strive for opportunities like these every single day. Let's jump into these charts. So here we are with the SPY hitting another dip area here after the one hit in the pre-market on Friday, and it bounced back up, right? We did a full transition from bright green to the dip area here on Friday. We hit a dip area again, and if it's your first time coming across the channel, white with red borders is what we call the dip area. We do full transitions back up towards the rip area, which is bright green, and then we go back down towards the dip area, which is white with red borders, right? So 42 vision allows us to see the dips from the rips and the rips to the dips to see where the strength and weakness lies. And we also use our bull and bear indicators in inflow versus outflow, which I'm going to pull up here. And you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. And in today's video, I'm going to pull up the inflow versus outflow indicator, which adds that extra layer of confirmation and gives us that edge within the volatility. So here we are with the SPY on the 30-minute chart frame. It got that bear indicator and it got canceled, right? The one in the pre-market on Friday by a bull indicator here at 404, and it was trying to break out, get towards 408, kept rejecting that area. I talked about how important that resistance was. It was fighting to stay above 405, and quickly these inflows were losing traction, especially towards the end of the day and going into the after hours. And I stated that I was going to watch carefully if this crossed back down, and it certainly did, right? From the after hours on Friday to the pre-market today, crossed over on the 30-minute. No bear indicator just yet, but that bear indicator popped up right around the area that bull indicator popped up at 404 to 405, and it crossed below the 405 support level, right? And what we were watching following that was 403, and below that was 400, guys. And that's where it found support on Friday in the pre-market, bounced off of it, rejected the same resistance we talked about, where it actually rejected multiple times on Thursday and even in the past history of the chart, which was 408. And here we are breaking below 400, a very pivotal level for the bulls and bears to try to take over the chart, right? And we've also looked at different articles and what they've stated. And today things are moving pretty quickly, and we're in a dip area again, and not just on the 30-minute, but also here for the first time within this volatility to the downside on the 1 hour, guys. Full transition from bright green to white with red borders. these outflows crossed for the first time significantly today since way back here on November 30th when the stock market actually went from 394 all the way to 409, slowed down. Outflows have been dominating all this time. They just had not crossed over the chart yet, right, on the midpoint. And once that midpoint happened, things have accelerated to the downside very quickly, and we've hit a downward trend so far, right? A continuation of it. Bear indicator never got canceled, popped up at 405, and we've hit a dip area based off 42 vision with white with red borders. So the last time this happened, I compared it to way back here on November 28th, that when those outflows crossed, followed by a bear indicator, things fell from 402 all the way down to 394. And I had stated that it's not guaranteed to make the same exact move, but something to not overlook and watch carefully as we were pulling downwards. And on Friday, we got really close here to the midpoint on different time frames, such as the 1 hour and also the 4 hour. If you go ahead and zoom out even bigger, we were really close to it and it crossed over. Now we haven't hit a dip area on the 4 hour, and we just hit a bear indicator that is trying to confirm. You could see it there switching. There's still 1 hour on this bar for this to actually confirm. If that actually confirms, well, then there could be even further weakness. It doesn't guarantee it just yet. This needs to close and confirm in 1 hour. This is the bigger time frame of the 4 hour chart. So you could see outflows crossing as well. And the last time it crossed over, or at least the last two times, the last two times it's dropped from 399 all the way to 390. And here it also dropped from around 398 to 393, 394. And you can see how it's still flickering, trying to confirm within specific levels of the chart right now within the volatility, because it was at 398 as I'm doing this video, and it's trying to bounce back up to 399. And we're going to zoom in so you could see what it is that I'm talking about. So let's look at the 5 minute here. You could see how it's actually trying to bounce back up. So that 4 hour chart still has 1 full hour to confirm. And on the 1 hour chart, it has actually gone ahead, and you could see it there confirmed since Friday, but it's in a dip area. It could try to reverse back up, and we have key levels to watch here going into tomorrow. So the first thing is 400 is now a resistance while we're below it. And the moment we're back above it, it turns into a support for the bulls to bounce off of and try to continue to get those inflows even higher if it's going in that direction. But right now, outflows are dominating, and we're at some of the highest points of outflows that we've seen since way back here on May 28th when it hit minus 5.44. And right now it's currently sitting at minus 0.53. So when we go all the way back here to these levels of November 9th, that's where it's hit higher levels of outflows, which was minus 7.83, give or take. It was in the minus 7 area. So this is the most amount of outflows that we've experienced since way back here on November 9th. And then we also hit even extreme levels down here on November 2nd of minus 13.6. So not guaranteed to reach those levels, but based off the history of the chart, it has room to go much lower. And I'm going to be watching if it could slow down and try to bring itself back up here on the 30 minute and also on the 15 minute and try to cross back over the midpoint here, or at least come closer to it, right? But once those midpoints do get crossed like it did on Friday, things do get moving, right? It went from 403 all the way up to 407. But right now, I just want to see this try to bring itself back up, try to cancel this bear indicator on the 15 minute from way up here at 405.37 and go ahead and start building some strength, right? And get that staircase effect back up. If not, I'm going to be watching these outflows if they continue to dominate and bring weakness over the chart, because on the 15 minute, on the 30 minute, it's overextended. On the 1 hour, it's hit a dip area as well. But the 4 hour, as we zoom out even further, which I don't usually use, is trying to figure out if it's going to confirm within the next hour this bear indicator. And if it does, and these outflows continue, which I'm going to be watching as well, where it's at tomorrow, if it slows down, it could sit sideways like it did here. And if it's going to continue, If not, it's going to go ahead and continue straight down, right? Or hit lower levels. If this is going to go ahead and transition from red into a white with red borders, a dip area in this bigger picture to complete the transition from the rip to the dip area, wherever that ends up being, right? If that happens. So it still has to confirm. I'm going to be watching that going into tomorrow as well. But the main thing right now is we have multiple time frames all the way up to the 1 hour hitting dip areas. Outflows trying to slow down. We want to see them come back up. And it starts with the 15-minute actually starting to bring itself back up closer to the midpoint. And if it does, well, the first resistance that I'm looking at is 400. Above that is 403. You could see how it tried to slow down there, sitting sideways and fighting. And from 403, things started to fall, right? So 403 is significant to start bringing itself back up. Then comes 405. And if 405 gets broken through, we have higher levels to talk about above that. And we'll see if these inflows can bring themselves back up above the midpoint. And if this bear indicator can get canceled by a bull indicator. Now, to the downside, since we're below 400 now, 395 is a key support level. And below that is 392, 390 area based off the history of the chart, guys. This is a very pivotal moment right now for the bulls and bears. We need to see what's going on. And it's really close to that psychological level where everyone believes, even though this may not be true or correct, this is just my opinion and perspective alone, not financial advice, but everyone believes that at 400, anything above that, the bulls are putting up a fight and they can start getting that Santa rally that everyone's hoping and speculating on. And anything below 400 means that the bulls are losing steam and that the bears are back in town and actually negating the possibility of any push higher. And again, this is just my opinion, not financial advice. I believe volatility is here to stay, and I'm just going to continue to try to maximize within the moves because every single day things are changing and things are moving up really quickly up, moving really quickly down, and within between those moves, there's plenty of opportunities. At least that's how I see it, and that's my perspective. As I stated earlier, those are the key levels to the downside and to the upside. I'm going to be watching 395 down towards 392, 390, and to the upside, we want to get back above 400 and how things react between 403 and 405 and how these inflow versus outflows will be reacting as well from the 1 hour to the 15-minute, and I'll be watching the 4 hour as it continues to go ahead and either confirm or not actually continue the transition into white with red borders because that bear indicator, it still has an hour to confirm. It's been popping up and taking itself out every single time it comes back up towards 399. But if it stays below 399 and even breaks below 398, it will be something to not ignore. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.